Hello lovely viewers, welcome back to my channel once again. Are you ready to embark on a journey with me to go back to where it all started? Well, let's get right to it. From wide-eyed newbie to seasoned host, my experience has been a roller coaster of learning and growth, and I can't wait to spill the beans. I started with a blank canvas and transformed my space into a cozy haven for travelers. As I carefully curated every detail for my listing, I discovered the art of showcasing my home's personality while catering to diverse guests' needs. But hey, it wasn't all a smooth sail. Get ready for some hilarious anecdotes as I share my misadventures in guest communication and the art of managing expectations. But quickly, before we go on, make sure you smash that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Now, brace yourselves, because my hosting journey wasn't short of surprises. I'll reveal the invaluable lessons I learned from the unexpected situations. Think late night check-ins, quirky guest requests, and the science of perfecting the checkout routine. So if you're itching to dip your toes into the world of Airbnb hosting, or simply curious about the adventures that await hosts like me, grab some popcorn and get ready for an enlightening ride. I've got a treasure trove of experiences and wisdom to share. Let's dive into the ups and downs and the unforgettable moments that have defined my early days as an Airbnb host. 7 lessons I learned. Number 1, guest preferences vary. In my exciting journey as an Airbnb host, I quickly realized that you please your guests better when you understand their preferences and tastes. When I started hosting and was eagerly awaiting my first guest, I had meticulously arranged the furniture and decorated the space to create a cozy ambience. To my surprise, the first couple who walked in couldn't have cared less about the carefully chosen colour scheme and the chic decor. Instead, they were more interested in having an extra power outlet and a functional kitchen. It was a light bulb moment for me. Each guest comes with their own set of preferences. I learned that some guests are all about the little details, appreciating the effort I put into making the space aesthetically pleasing. On the other hand, others are focused on practicality and functionality. They might not notice the trendy throw pillows, but they'll remember the convenience of a well-stocked kitchen. This lesson really hit home when I had back-to-back guests, one who loved the minimalistic vibe and another who wished for more personal touches like artwork and decorative items. Balancing these preferences became an art, and I quickly adapted by offering optional add-ons like coffee makers or a choice of artwork. In essence, realizing that guests' preferences vary is a reminder that hosting isn't just about providing a place to stay. It's about creating an experience tailored to each guest. From the colour of the curtains to the type of tea in the pantry, every detail can make a difference. You need to understand what excites your guests the most in their space. Heck, you could even ask them on the website and arrange your space to suit their taste when they've responded. For me, understanding and catering to these preferences have not only enriched the stay for my guests, but have also added a dynamic layer to my journey as an Airbnb host. I'll advise you to do the same. Number 2, managing bookings wisely. Managing bookings wisely is all about striking the balance between accepting bookings and ensuring a smooth hosting experience. When I started hosting on Airbnb, I was excited and eager to accept every booking that came my way. However, I quickly learned that managing bookings wisely is crucial for maintaining a high level of service. By carefully considering factors like cleaning time, check-in and check-out logistics, as well as my own availability, I found that spacing out bookings allowed me to provide a more comfortable and enjoyable stay for my guests. I remember there was a time when I once accepted back-to-back bookings without leaving enough time for cleaning and preparation. As a result, I was rushing to get everything ready and ended up overlooking some details, leading to a slightly subpar experience for my guests. That experience taught me the importance of allowing enough time between bookings to ensure each guest receives the best possible stay. In essence, managing bookings wisely means being mindful of the practical aspect of hosting and giving yourself enough time to provide a top-notch experience for every guest. It's about finding that sweet spot between maximizing occupancy and maintaining the quality of your hosting. Cleanliness matters. I recall a situation where I overlooked cleaning the corner of the living room before a guest's arrival. The guest reaction highlighted the importance of attention to detail. They expressed mild disappointment in their review, mentioning the cleanliness aspect. This incident taught me that even small oversights can impact a guest's perception and ultimately affect my hosting reputation. I realized that a clean and inviting environment not only leaves a positive impression, but also contributes to a comfortable and enjoyable stay. As a host, I now make it a top priority to ensure every nook and cranny is thoroughly clean before welcoming any guests. This approach has led to improved guest feedback and enhanced the overall experience for both me and my visitors. So you want to ensure that everything is spick and span and that you have enough time to thoroughly rid your rent space of all dirt before your guests check in. Next up, pricing. When I started hosting, I was all pumped up to start my Airbnb journey, ready to rake in the big bucks. But guess what? I quickly learned that pricing isn't just a numbers game. It's an art that requires careful consideration. In those initial months, I realized that setting the price point can make or break your hosting experience. First off, you've got to know your competition. Take a peek at similar listings in your area. What are they charging? Don't undersell yourself, but also don't go overboard and scare potential guests away like I did in the first few months. But here's the kicker. It's not just about the price, it's about value. I discovered that offering extra amenities like free Wi-Fi, a cozy welcome basket, or local insider tips can give your place an edge. Trust me, a little goes a long way in winning hearts and bookings. Lastly, don't be afraid to experiment. When I started hosting, I had a fixed price for nearly the first 6 months, but I later discovered why pricing should be fluid and not rigid, like I do now. I'd advise you to play around with your pricing strategy, adjusting it during peak seasons, events, or even trying out special deals to attract more visitors. It pays off big time. So always remember that pricing is a puzzle that's worth solving. Take the time to research, add that personal touch, and be open to trying new things. Your bank account and your happy guests will thank you. Still watching? Don't forget to subscribe so you get more videos like this straight to your inbox. Communication is key. One big lesson I've learned is that communication is key. Seriously, it's like the secret sauce to hosting success. When I started out, I was a bit nervous about reaching out to guests too much. But guess what? I quickly realized that staying in touch is crucial. When I started out, I only saw my guests when they were checking out. But I've come to realize the importance of routine checks over time. I remember once I had this lovely couple book a weekend getaway at my place. They were all smiles when they arrived, but something seemed off during their stay. I decided to have a friendly chat with them, asking if everything was all right. Turns out they were having trouble operating the thermostat. Imagine if I hadn't checked in. They might have had a chilly weekend and left with a less than ideal impression. By communicating openly and promptly, I've not only avoided potential mishaps, but also built a rapport with my guests. Whether it's sending a welcome message with local recommendations or just checking if they need anything, it goes a long way in making them feel valued and comfortable. Plus, it helps me improve as a host, getting their feedback firsthand. So if you want to level up your hosting game, learn to communicate well with your guests. But you must also learn when not to communicate, as some guests value their privacy a lot. How to handle lost items. A guest checks out and a few hours later you get a frantic call. I left my favourite scarf at your place. Now here's what I've gathered from these kinds of experience. First off, stay calm. No need to panic. I've learned to reassure the guest that I'll do my best to help them out. I remember a time when a guest left behind their headphones. Instead of stressing, I assured them that I'd check thoroughly and get back to them as soon as possible. Secondly, communication is key. In cases like these, I always initiate a quick chat with my cleaning crew. They've been super helpful in finding misplaced items before. Plus, it's a great way to involve them in the solution. Next up, documentation. I've started taking photos of the property after each guest checks out. This not only helps with any damage claims, but also serves as a visual record of what's left behind. It came in handy when a guest claimed to have left a charger, and I could see that it wasn't there. Lastly, shipping matters. If I do find a lost item, I make sure to get the guest preferred address and cover the shipping cost myself. It's a small gesture, but it goes a long way in building trust and goodwill. So remember, when it comes to lost items, stay cool. Communicate, document, and ship with a smile. Your guests will appreciate your efforts, and they might even leave you a wonderful review, and you'll have some heartwarming stories to share along the way. Now, reviews impact your business more than you can ever imagine. You know, when I started out, I didn't quite grasp just how important those little stars and comments are. Turns out they can either make or break your success. You see, potential guests rely on those reviews to decide whether they want to book with you. Positive reviews boost your credibility and give others the confidence to try out your place. It's like a personal recommendation from a friend. On the flip side, a couple of negative reviews can seriously hurt your booking. People might think twice before choosing your listing. It's a real eye-opener to see how your efforts to provide a great experience directly impacts your business growth. So next time you host, ensure you put in that extra effort so your guests can have a fantastic stay, leave with smiles on their faces, and you can get a valuable review. Summing this all up, my journey as an Airbnb host has been a whirlwind of learning. From the importance of stellar communication to the impact of those little stars, I've gained insights that will shape my hosting approach. I'm excited to take on more guests, and I hope you can apply these lessons for your own hosting adventures as well. I hope to see you all in my next video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Take care.